have the mindset of never stop learning? Do you have a business that you want to grow and scale? Well, today I have another installment of the So What series. And today we're talking about so what is the risk of setting the wrong tone? Hi, I'm Rosalie and I'm your Latina risk expert. I help impact driven businesses take control of their risks so they can protect, optimize, and scale their worth. You are in the right place if you are looking for risk strategies, tactics, and resources to propel you and your business like never before. Let's get started. There are a ton of risks when running a business. And today we're talking about tone or the culture of your organization. So, what is the risk of setting the wrong tone? You risk setting a tone where actions and values don't align. You risk setting a tone where employees might stay quiet when they should really speak up. You risk seeing employees and customers leave. If you take anything away from this video, know that the culture or the tone at the top represents one of the key aspects of how your business runs and for how long it runs. The tone represents the attitudes, the behaviors, and the actions that employees have, that you have, and top leadership has, because it's something that is present in the room even when you aren't. The culture that you establish has a trickle-down effect to everyone at your company. Especially in stress or times of crisis, this is when it's critical to make sure that you have set up a tone that makes employees act in an ethical and positive way. Let's talk about it in 3 ways. Your culture matters to your overall business. You started this business with a vision. What values did you want to portray? What values are the ones that are on your website? And what are the values that you live day to day? You want to make sure that these are aligned for your business to be able to survive and thrive and continue to grow. The earlier you establish a tone and a culture that embodies what you want to see in your business, the better off you will be, because you'll be able to move forward confidently, that any decisions that you make, that your leadership makes, and that your employees make embody the values of the company, embody the culture that you want to see, and embody the actions that you would want to see your company take. A strong culture always promotes acting with integrity and having a safe space for your employees to be able to speak up. Your employees should be able to come to you with any dangers, with any questions, or with any concerns so that you can work at it together and solve the problem together. The last thing you want to do is for your employees to feel like they need to stay quiet or they need to make decisions on their own, because in the end, your business can be impacted and very severely. And the really harsh reality is that only 50% of businesses make it to their 5th anniversary. So as an entrepreneur, as someone building a new business, you already have the stats against you. And that is why I put out all of this risk content and strategies and information so that you can absorb it and you can bring it back to your business. I really want to contribute to changing that statistic.
And this one should come as no surprise, but your culture matters to your employees.
Employees seek out employers that have values that align with theirs and that have values that they actually live day to day. That misalignment or the disconnect is what is going to prevent employees from being happy at your business and feeling comfortable in that space. You want to make sure that your employees can speak up and can make you aware of any dangers, because it's going to help both of you. So employees can pick up on whether or not you are living your values day to day, and they can tell if you're living those values for some employees and maybe not others. So you want to make sure that it is on an equal basis. And that is something that is very, very important, because employees notice this right away. Employees will leave if they see a disconnect. They will pay attention to different actions, to different decisions that are made. And if it's not acting in accordance with their own values and they start to feel a misalignment, they will probably start to seek employment elsewhere. It's very important to keep your talent. Now, let me tell you that some turnover is normal. It's okay for employees to leave. Sometimes they pivot careers. Sometimes they decide that they want to go a different direction, or sometimes they want additional growth, or they just get a fantastic opportunity elsewhere that they could not pass up. And then unfortunately you can't meet at that time, and that's okay. But what you want to pay attention to is employees leaving at high velocity and high numbers. So as that starts to happen, and if it happens at less than 6 months, you've just hired somebody and they left, you want to pay specific attention to those as well. So look at your turnover, especially as you're growing. Make sure you understand the reasons why, and make sure you're communicating it to top leadership, because leadership should know if it's natural turnover or if it's turnover that you should pay more attention to. because you want to keep your employees, especially the ones that are contributing to the success of your business. You always want to make sure that you're maintaining a pulse on your employees. So take those surveys, take them seriously, encourage 360 feedback, whether verbally or whether through a formal process, and make sure that you're looking at that information consistently and communicating and taking action on it, not just taking it in, because that can also happen at companies where there is an aspect of analysis, of assessment, but there's nobody doing anything about it. And last, but becoming more increasingly important, your culture matters to your customers. Right now, customers are evaluating more than ever where they're spending their dollars. They want to spend the money and they need certain necessities, but they want to know that it's going to a company that has a very strong culture, that treats its employees well, and that acts by values that are very similar to them, because it does matter to your customers. And customers are deciding if the values align, if the culture aligns, if the community or the sustainability impact or initiatives that you have align, or DEI efforts as well. And so if you don't align with some of those values, they may be putting their purchasing dollars elsewhere. So you want to make sure that your culture is aligned to what customers you want to see come through the door and stay in the door. It's no longer just a matter of, hey, I need this and I'm going to buy it. It's like, hey, I need this. Who can I buy it from that aligns the most with my values? And I think this goes without being said, but you want to be the news for positive things. You want to make sure that any email you send, any message you send, or any video that you're taped in, that you're saying something that is aligned with the culture that you're portraying outwardly. Because the last thing you want to do is be a headline on something that you said, and now you've exposed yourself that your culture and your values don't align. And believe me, it will happen, and you don't want it to happen to you. So don't be caught in the dark. Don't let this be you. Make sure that you are managing your tone from the start. Do not sleep on building the right culture from the start and making sure that you maintain it. You want to make sure that you are evaluating your tone regularly. What is the culture of your company? It is extremely important and vital for the success of your organization, for the happiness of your employees, and for your customers to be comfortable shopping with you. One of the favorite projects that I do with my clients is a cultural assessment. And this is where, through surveys, through looking at the data, we analyze what opportunities you have within your culture, what gaps you might have, and also what is working well. Because sometimes it is a really great validation of, wow, the culture that I wanted to establish is the culture that I maintain. Because if you're not looking at it, it can be risky. And I want your business to succeed. There you go. Setting the right tone is one of the 5 steps that I talk about in the free resource that I'll be talking about at the end of this video. If you want to build a business that works for you for the long term, where you can move forward confidently and happy with the progress and the success that you have, without all the overwhelm, without all the headaches, make sure that you establish and set the right tone from the start. It is critical for you and your business. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and if you are hungry to build more of your risk skill set, go ahead and head to my website and download my free risk resource, 5 steps to jumpstart your risk journey now. It will help you and your business build the right foundations to grow for the long term.